Howdy, this is Bubba / Dollywood Outsider here with my brother here to do a video about what to expect for the Dollywood season. What to expect for Dollywood 2025. So these were some things I have.
Crowds. High prices.
Anything else?
Mediocre food.
All right, so we just did a video about the season pass. So we're not going to quickly go over that. But in short, the season pass is pretty much the same as last year. So if you were pleased with your diamond pass last year, you're going to want to do a diamond again. If you're pleased with your gold, you probably want to do a gold, and vice versa. Nothing as of this time. Nothing major has changed.
No major additions or things taken away.
Or deletions.
The hotel thing maybe is the big thing that was changed, but
it looked like the hotel thing is a one-time instead of ongoing. But for the most part, it was the same.
I don't know how you could afford to stay multiple times in 1 year at that place.
Yeah. I did a video a couple weeks ago about how I thought the Blazing Fury ride was getting refurbished. From what I have gathered from inside sources,
Dolly.
It is not going to be the Blazing Fury that will be getting refurbished. It will be Daredevil Falls.
The one on the hill?
Yeah, that's the log water ride on the hill being refurbished. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, water ride, it's fun. Our 4-year-old at the time loved it. Or did he? Yeah, he got to ride it. Yeah, one time he did, one he did. So he got tall enough he got to ride it. But he liked it. I mean, it's nothing special. It's something you rode at about every theme park. And it's only used a couple months out of the year because you can't run it in December. So I don't know what they could refurbish on it.
Yeah, I don't really get that either. I know that's
water is wet. That's about
that's the one that it doesn't stop. It just continually goes. If you know, so you kind of have to jump in while it's moving.
The little rubber raft
might be something with that. It goes a little bit slow, so maybe they could speed it up. They're all chain part of it. I don't know.
Yeah, you're a log going through the sawmill, I guess is what it is.
But you also got all that mechanical stuff and it's underwater, so it may just
be maintenance.
Yeah, I think that one opened about '98. I think
been there a long time.
Yeah, so. But I think the big overall, you're not going to see any major life-changing stuff. That's going to be more in 26, which we'll get into. But the 40th anniversary, that's going to be your big marketing push. You're going to see that everywhere.
They got to announce what's tied to that. It's great that they're promoting that, but other than the cup,
they really haven't said. I know there's a new show coming in the Pines Theater that will be celebrating the 40th anniversary.
Is it about Dolly?
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about this year's. Honestly, I'm glad I did the Dolly stuff, but overall, not that big a deal to me. I don't want to say I'm disappointed because we did enjoy it, but I mean, it's not something you're going to do every time you go to Dollywood.
What's that? The museum?
Yeah.
I wasn't in love with that either.
I think that was an unused area. They never have figured out what they want to do with it, so maybe they now finally got that. So that's good, but the big thing in 26 is going to be they say the expansion number. Is this 2 or 3 of the Wildwood?
I'm a little. There's 2 more expansion parks of that coming in the future, but there is supposed to be a indoor. From what I heard, the big major roller coaster that they've even said themselves is coming in 26 along with the indoor ride. So again, that's just chalked it up as a room.
Somebody was talking about a theater type show for kids in there, which I mean, if you think of something Dollywood doesn't have and lacks a lot of, is indoor shows for kids, or even covered canopy shows for kids.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of shows. I mean, there's plenty of rides.
They got those seasonal shows sometimes there.
Yeah, they're not up there in the Wildwood Grove area, and
it's another part of the park. Yeah,
but if you notice, when the weather gets bad, hot, cold, rain, where does everybody go that has a kid? Hidden Hollow, indoor playground. Yeah. It's a zoo in there, so they need other indoor things for weather and heat purposes.
Yeah, but as far as 26, supposedly the indoor ride is coming And then the Daredevil Falls will be running to about August, from what I heard. So it will be reopening in 26. And then I think that's the big major roller coaster that they've announced as well. So, but one last thing on 25 is the expanded parking. I did a separate video on that. But in short, you're going to be getting more expanded parking. It's going to be along this, from what I gather, along the sides of where you leave. There's a guy who has kids and strollers and stuff like that when they come into Dollywood. What do you think about the parking situation?
You know, the parking lot itself doesn't bother me. The fact that they moved the tram station practically into the A parking lot, to where feels like a 5-minute walk from the tram station,
right?
To where we've skipped the tram recently because it's not worth it.
Yeah, and
wait around to go 100 feet. So I never understood why they moved it so far back. I guess so the trams can operate, maybe, but. I mean, a better parking is definitely an issue because when you've got all that crap and you got to load it back on the wagon and to unload it again, it's aggravating.
I know there have been some rumors of a second entrance around Wildwood Grove area.
That would be nice.
But I know my buddy Lewis is pushing for that. But from what I have been told, that is not in the plans. And then
that would be nice.
And then
they're doing something when you leave because there's construction going on.
I think that is tied to I think some of that might be the roller coaster stuff.
It's on the hill in the parking lot there,
but it could be the parking lot too. I haven't seen.
That would be from where it's at. That would be my guess.
But the parking is supposed to be as you leave.
Yeah, that's as you leave on the right hand side on the hill. After you circle there in Dollywood. The entrance is behind you. It's right here on the right as you've made that curve going before you get out.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be.
It looks like a park. I mean, but it's up kind of on a hill. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure, does that mean that's going to cost extra?
No, I wouldn't think so. I mean, but it's kind of hard to picture that in my head now. So exactly how close, because I've not saw it. How close?
I don't know that I'd call it close, but I mean, it's.
But on those busy days, that will come in handy. And one more thing that they're going to be doing as. Where it used to be the old, where they had the big gigantic Christmas tree and the old battle water ride that they got loped out this year. They got a restaurant coming for 25.
Oh, that's up in the.
Yeah, this one that's been loped off all year.
Up past the Mystery Mine or whatever that is called.
And from what I have been told, that is going to be a full service restaurant, and it will be targeting April or May when it opens. So that's
what's going to take away the special area, right? In a sense, or not all, some of it.
Well, that's closed already. They got.
I know, but then where are they going to put that stuff at?
Well, I don't know where they're going to put the gigantic tree.
Yeah, all that stuff's got. Unless it's not as big a restaurant as you think it's going to be.
They could leave room for it, but that's what we have gathered. Any last words on 25? Sound like it's going to be pretty much standard. We were expect this year.
And another rumor we've heard is the fact that they're going to eventually close down the country fair area, move all that type of stuff up to the wilderness area.
Yeah,
which makes a ton of sense. Because those rides are old. You can tell ages on them.
I think we rode all those rides when we were kids.
We did, and it needs to be all in one area because it's a real aggravation to walk with the kids that far.
Yeah, I think from what I've been told, that's in the future type thing.
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
But they're not like, as something tears down, if it's a big expense, they're not going to fix it.
Just think about it. There's no Ferris wheel there because it tore up and they took it out.
And I assume you would agree that having all that in the same area would be.
Oh, yeah, this just makes it so much easier. Yeah, that it needs to be done. I mean, you might not be able to move all that, but there's some things you could definitely move. But, you have to go down the hill, and then half of their labor, I swear, is tied to running the carnival games over there, which no one does, and it seems like an odd.
They always seem to have people for the carnival games.
They don't have enough help, but they have one person per thing trying to beg you to buy a game. So it's kind of a weird deal.
Yeah.
But anyway, that would be a good idea.
All right. Anything else?
Like and subscribe.